The Steam Game Festival is in full swing and we've got more demos available than you can shake a keyboard at. So I decided to play a bunch of them for you so you didn't have to. Now you can sit back, relax, and get a short preview of a dozen demos that may be good, bad, or just a little deranged. If you like that classic look of games from the 90s made by 3D Realms, you're gonna love this modern game from 3D Realms that looks just like a classic game from the 90s. It's time for Graven. Dive into this ridiculously dark, putrid, and plague-ridden swamp town to begin your adventure in Not Dying Here. Take on whatever tasks you can find in this game devoid of strict quest givers and quest markers. Find the power of magical spells that, despite shooting lightning bolts and flamethrowers from your fingertips like a Sith Lord with a fire flower, don't really do damage to the enemies you encounter. Instead, you just have to whack them with normal weapons until they explode into gibs like enemies in quality games should. You can also break every box, barrel, and jar in town, and of course, nobody cares at all. If you're looking for a town that isn't quite so full of rotting dead, you might want to check out Dorfromantik. This is a world-building puzzle game where you put hexagons together to gain more hexagons so you can put more hexagons together. Relax as you piece together forests, fields, small towns, rail lines, and rivers all to a mild soundtrack with only the hope of a high score as your motivator. Then lose all of that relaxation as you accidentally drop a train in the middle of nowhere and ruin all of your beautiful work. Ruining beauty is kind of your primary goal if you're looking at the demo for The Riftbreaker. This is a twin-stick shooter cleverly disguised as a twin-stick shooter with the prettiness factor maxed out. However, beyond its generic twin-stickitude, there's also some nice base building and tower defense mechanics for you to check out. You take on the role of a scientist headed to an unknown alien planet, and it's your job to use a giant mech suit to build a lovely habitat for humanity. In the process, you can also study the delicate flora and fauna by brutally shredding it with your sword arm, machine gun, flamethrower, or nuclear mines. Luckily though, you can build some helpful base defenses so your lonely scientific path to extraterrestrial extinction will be a little easier to handle. If you're trying to prevent your own extinction, then perhaps you should check out Sapper Defuse the Bomb Simulator. Sapper seems like a great idea from the very start. What can be more thrilling than trying to keep yourself and others from blowing up? No one wants that. It might even be as enticing as it seems, assuming you're not colorblind. Clearly, disarming bombs is not something I can add to my resume because I couldn't even pass the tutorial on this color-matching minigame of cutting wires. I'll have to get my thrills in monochromatic ways, perhaps with a Virtual Boy. The monochromatic sepia tones of Potioncraft may be the perfect home for me though. This game has you taking on the magic of medieval alchemy as you open up a potion shop to drug up the locals. Start out each day roaming your backyard for random weeds to pick to get yourself stocked up for the day's brewing. Then you can head inside and toss some random bits into a cauldron to stir up your next delightful beverage. Navigate the map of alchemy with each plant's unique squiggly movement and make potions tailored to your customers' problems. Then haggle with them using random pictures so they'll hand over more cash you can use to buy more weeds from people that wander into your shop. Most weeds aren't that fun to grow though, so you might want to try out growing some grapes. If you've ever wanted to get into the high-octane thrilling world of winemaking, now's your chance with 100 Days. This management sim has you venturing into the world of growing grapes, smashing grapes, letting some yeast eat those grapes, and then putting that whole mess into fancy bottles to sell to people. This full adventure involves a lot of in-depth winemaking and vineyard management information, so I had almost no idea what was going on at any point. Yet that doesn't mean it won't be a good time for someone who likes management sims and wants something a little bit different. If you wanted something a little bit different and felt like your life was going in circles with no end in sight, now you can finally get that experience in a video game. It's time for Loop Hero. This strange Devolver-published RPG puts you in the role of a random armored guy and tasks you with watching him walk around this loop path for as long as possible. Does that sound boring? Well, surprisingly, it's not. Somehow this demo with all the allure of NASCAR sucked me in for nearly 5 hours. Watching this little guy beat up monster sprites and collect mountains of loot I could equip him with was intoxicating. Each card I collected was another piece I could place on the loop, making every step another toward either a gruesome death or getting bombarded with great rewards. All in the hope that I could haul the load of goodies back to my weird camp full of lost people in this mysterious disappearing loop world and help them rebuild to kick the ass of the person that made the world disappear. If there was a world that should probably disappear, it's the one that contains exophobia. This game drops you into the white purgatory hell of some kind of spaceship infested by aliens and lets you work your way out of the situation gun first. Zip around this 2D space, having long lost the ability to look up or down as you pointlessly relive the limitations of Doom 28 years ago. Fight against flies, worms, and invulnerable plants that invert your controls, causing so much chaos that you run into even more invulnerable plant attacks and die. Then you get to the best part of the demo, when you can quit. There's one thing we should all quit though, and that's parking bad. We've all seen bad parking jobs, but now you can participate in your own dysfunctional parking lot shenanigans with You Suck at Parking. Take your favorite generic car speeding off a cliff into one of the hazardous vehicle environments of the skill-based puzzle game. While it may seem simple just to drive your car to a spot and stop it there, there's plenty to make that just a bit more challenging. Whether it's the deadly side rails, car-destroying mines, out-of-control traffic, or giant magnets that whip you out to sea, getting safely to that spot is going to be a little tougher than just parallel parking. Moving parallel isn't just for parking though, you'll also be moving parallel to the bottom of the screen in this side-scrolling adventure. Steel Assault is a throwback to classic side-scrolling arcade beat-em-ups that throws you right into the action with blinding colors and immediate death. As you fight your way across this retina-destroying landscape, you'll obliterate your foes with some kind of lightning whip and make your way to platforms using a zipline. All the while, you'll be getting your ass kicked trying to use these tools to chase down flying enemies that can move off screen and still shoot as you continue to use a melee weapon in a world of guns. If you're looking for a more diverse set of weaponry, then Despot's game is the demo for you. This game puts you in control of a swarm of dumb humans that you can outfit with a wacky arsenal of weapons. Each one gives that person a role to play in the chaotic hands-off combat against a room full of comparably wacky enemies. As you make your way from room to room, engaging in this gauntlet of sadistic combat and equipping new people, you'll start forming synergies between similar classes and unlock special bonuses and powers to help you in future combat. Don't forget to feed your squad though, they kind of die if you don't. Thankfully, you can always sacrifice someone in a pit of death in exchange for food if you need to. Plus, you don't have to feed that person anymore, so win-win. The real winner here is this avian exploration of extreme sports. If you think Tony Hawk may sound like the best bird in skateboarding, let me tell you about a game called Skatebird. Take control of one of these colorful skating legends and ollie, grind, and kickflip your way to a high score on rooftops as birds often do. If you think you're good enough to take flight on the halfpipe and leave a few feathers on the rail, then you might want to check out this game. Don't forget to squawk for bonus points though. The final demo is one that I totally forgot until I started recording this, so here's the 13th of 12 demos, Cosmo's Quick Stop. The idea of being a gas station attendant may not be too thrilling, but what if you're an alien managing and running an interstellar gas station? Now you can live out a dream you never knew you had, pumping space gas, refilling space snack machines, washing spaceships, and cleaning space glorp from the glorp room with a space mop. Of course, you'll have to keep up with all of these tasks at the same time with WarioWare-like minigames of tapping buttons and shaking your mouse or joystick. All of this just to make a quick space buck. That's it for the dozen plus one demos I played at the Steam Game Festival. Some of these I had no idea I'd be interested in, while others were disappointing discoveries I was previously excited for. Hopefully, I'll be able to cover some of these with full reviews in the future. If not, just pretend these are full reviews and everyone will still be happy. And as always, this abbreviated preview was brought to you by my patrons, Nexus Store, and viewers like you. If you like game reviews that aren't really game reviews and also sound like commercials, act now and like this video and subscribe to see more.